Hi, I'm Easton Willis, and I'm here interviewing Nick Bowen, who's with the Observer, which is Austin College's kind of campus news organization paper. I'm just going to ask him a couple questions about kind of his experience with the paper since he started here, which was back in, what year was it, Nick?
2010.
2010?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just kind of starting off on that note, and you talked about how the kind of the physical copy print just kind of became less and less just, I guess, relevant on campus, and then kind of disappeared last year, right? Because last year was here.
Last year it went online, but nobody knew about it. But my freshman and sophomore year, which I guess would be like your freshman year, you were there.
Mm-hmm.
We had a physical copy, and we'd had a physical copy for a very long time before that. But progressively, because we were getting those stories, and the quality of the stories that we were getting weren't very good. I wasn't personally involved in the editing, but they were reducing page size. It used to be a 14-page paper monthly. They would run it by issue.
Okay.
It got reduced to like 4 pages, and all of it would be photos.
Wow. So it was a pamphlet, really?
Yeah, it was a pamphlet, and it had nothing in it but like photos of things that went down, and like my, I don't know,
that's distressing.
Review over one of the plays or something like
so
that. So,
what was that process
opinion.
like early on, kind of putting out the paper? Because obviously, now that it's all digital, it's a completely different process in terms of posting online as opposed to just having to print everything out and get it put all together. And where was that available? Was that just in the WCC, or was that just kind of, were you guys trying to put it out around campus, or?
It was we had like mostly in the WC downstairs. You could just grab a copy. People still didn't know we had a paper even when we physically had a paper, but more teachers and like a lot of professors actually read it back then. I would say right now there's a lot of people that have this reaction against it being online. I honestly think, yeah.
Well, how does that kind of manifest itself? What is that?
I've actually talked to professors that are straight like, I used to read it all the time, but now that it's online, I just don't like the formatting, and it makes me mad that they're doing that, and so.
Do you think that's more of a generational kind of a gap?
A bit, but I have the same feeling. I feel like a school paper, I feel like with the quality of work we're getting now, everything is very good, but we could pick the best of what we are getting and publish it monthly instead of weekly, you know? Because we are all writing on a weekly basis right now, and I feel like if we got the best of our month and like ran that monthly, that would almost be better, and then we could, I don't know, like I have some ideas still. So.
Do you think that possibly in a few years, because I know you're a senior this year, as an alum, would you want to see a digital and then also a physical print copy on campus? So like we could have entertainment or something on the digital platform, and then we could have more campus-related topics actually physically on campus. Just you could pick up a copy and see it.
That would be very cool. I would definitely like to get a physical copy back in there, but I do love the fact that anyone can write about anything now, and sort of it. I mean, if it's good, we run it. If it's not, I've actually had to not run a few stories, but a lot of stuff has been run that wouldn't have been run in a just straight newspaper because we have the capabilities to just publish it. So, yeah.
Cool. Would you say that the school itself is kind of to blame for what's happened to the paper thus far? Like, just in terms of like negligence, in terms of like, I don't know, like forgetting about it, honestly? To tell you the truth.
I'm not totally sure if it's the higher ups or whatever. Student wise, it's very frustrating that we, I mean, like we've been campaigning pretty heavily against like just the apathy in the school and the people. I got lucky because like I got a good group early on. I knew that if we hit hard early on, we could get a good group of incoming freshmen, and this class has been a lot more motivated than the past couple classes, I feel like, for some weird reason. Like it's cool to write now or something like that. But the last couple years, everyone was like, I'm a writer. And you'd be like, cool. You want to get paid for it? And they'd be like, nah. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know about the higher up people. It seems like because of the lack of interest in the students, a lot of the editors get burnt out. And so the editors are the like heart and soul of the paper, and because they're tired and frustrated, they don't campaign for it anymore, and it just sort of all falls apart
Yeah.
sort of, yeah.
They just kind of lack the motivation to continue.
Because because they see just no reward from it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've been seeing a pretty good reward, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but would you say that, because I know you guys have being objective here, you guys
Yeah.
have a social networking kind of presence now
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook and stuff. How has that been working out?
I don't know why we didn't think about it last year. I feel like it'd been mentioned, but this year we made a Facebook page, and we've had so many articles that we run basically we basically feature an article every single day of whatever's going on, and I feel like that has helped get some people involved. I definitely would like us to I'd like us to get to like the 250 mark by the time I graduate or something like that, of just people who like us on Facebook and who are reading it. Because I say that we probably get about 30 people reading it daily. I don't know. Or at
So
least
modest
they see
number.
it. Yeah, I mean, we had 0 people reading it before, so
That's true.
any number is better than no number. So
That's a good place. That's a good place to kind of stop. That's interesting to hold that thought. Just kind of how the paper's kind of getting back up on its feet, and definitely you've been a huge part of that. So it's cool to talk to you, Nick. Thank you for your time.
I'd like to just add that I have a tremendous team right now, and it's not me. I work with a great team, and together we've been overcoming a lot of just barriers and stuff like that have been part of pushing the paper back. And I think that I'm trying to think how to end this, but I can't.
You're too gracious, Nick. You're too gracious.
No, this is my people. You people rock. I just gotta say, and I feel like we have a very open group, and I'm excited to see who else joins and stuff like that. But I like the writers we have now, and everyone. We've just a tremendous outpour of creativity, and it's great.
I'm the advisor to student publications. I was student publications advisor as part of my role as the assistant director of student life.
Okay. Could you tell me a little bit about your official capacity, like with regards to how you work with the students, and Nick Bowen, the editor in chief?
Sure. As the assistant director of student life, I do serve in the capacity of advisor to both student publications, Acobserver and the Observer.
Okay.
And so weekly I meet with Nick, and we're pretty much in constant contact about what's ready to be published, what our goals are for the semester. Right now we're doing a whole lot as far as kind of rebuilding the Observer and getting it ready for kind of working at full capacity next semester. And Nick has been instrumental in pulling the right people into the right positions, and really putting together a good staff. And then he notifies me when stories are ready to be published. They've been edited and everything, and I give everything a read through and click the final button.
Final button.
So yeah, that's the day to day. That's the day every week.
Talking about the transition from the physical kind of copy to the just digital platform only, I was going to ask, does that afford you more or less kind of freedom in terms of what you can publish, when you can publish, how kind of pervasive it is throughout the school? Or
it's kind of a mixed bag. There's a lot more freedom because there's a lot more freedom editorially, because you put something out there and you realize, oh, maybe we should have done it this way, or we really would have liked it to have been from this angle, whatever. It's so easy to pull it back in, change it how you want it, and put it back out, or enhance the story later on. So if we were to put something up and a couple of days later we finally get these really good pictures that go with it, we have that freedom to be able to go on and do that. The platform that we use is called Student Newspapers Online, and there's a lot of freedom and flexibility in that platform. It's actually all run off of WordPress.
right.
So in that way, it's really freeing. There's a lot that we can do, but at the same time, you have to have people who understand WordPress well enough and the platform well enough to be able to tweak it, manipulate it, and make it how we want it. So I guess in that way, it is a little bit more restricting. But it also, for the most part, you put a story on, you tell it what section it's going in, it shows up in that column, and it shows up formatted the way it's supposed to be. On a print publication, somebody has to go in and do the formatting, somebody has to go in and place the story, somebody has to place the jump because it's not going to fit all on that page, all these other things that add more time and pressure and stress onto the staff. So now people can really focus on writing, which is what we've seen this year, is people just being excited about being able to share their opinions, review some things. We're getting more coverage now of campus events, and people really being able to focus on writing, taking pictures, and journalism, and then let the website worry about itself.
Gotcha.